Alright guys, well, welcome to a brand new episode. As you can see here, I am in my Cygnus beautiful split tailgate. I still can't believe that we lost the tailgate with the 300 series. I don't get what was going through the mind of Toyota. I absolutely love my tailgate and I've used it on so many occasions as like a drop table or somewhere to sit and enjoy a view, somewhere to sit with your partner. I mean, it's just, according to me, this is just invaluable. I don't know why they would do away with it. But anyways, today's video, a fantastic video for you guys. Can you daily drive? Well, absolutely you can daily drive a 100 series Land Cruiser, but we want to go through the costs so you guys can sort of get an informed decision if you're going for one of these vehicles. How much does it actually cost to maintain and to run a 4.7 liter V8 petrol Land Cruiser in Kenya? We're going to go over service costs, we're going to go over fuel costs, we're going to take averages, we're going to get into some mathematics, and we're going to do it right so we can give you a good sort of picture on what the ownership cost of this kind of vehicle is like, so you guys can get into this with a good informed decision and know what to expect. Alright guys, and I wanted to take you through, sort of an appreciation for this vehicle. Before you get into a 4.7 liter V8 Land Cruiser, you need to appreciate sort of what you're getting into. This is Toyota's most reliable V8 engine. We're talking about the 2UZ-FE, an engine that has gone million miles in a lot of vehicles around the world. So before sort of considering, the costs of daily driving such a vehicle, first you need to get an appreciation for what the vehicle is. Now, you guys are of course on the Masai Gaines channel, so if you enjoy what you watch, lots more Land Cruiser content coming up on the Masai Gaines channel. I do of course own an 80 series and a 100 series, and I love Land Cruisers, guys. I've been around Land Cruisers all my life, and when I was young I was driven in Land Cruisers by my parents. So they had Land Cruisers and I always wanted a Land Cruiser. I love them, and I'm a total enthusiast for Land Cruisers. I love the ruggedness, the reliability. And so if you guys want to know what does it cost to daily drive a vehicle like this, first you need to appreciate what you are driving, so you don't just put one marker on a vehicle like this, like fuel economy, because a vehicle like this gives you a lot of things. It doesn't just give you a fuel economy marker. It gives you luxury, it gives you spaciousness, it gives you ultra visibility, it gives you real choice of materials, suede, real wood, real leather. It gives you ultra comfort and space for your family in the back, up to 7, up to 8 seats, lots of cargo space, gives you proper torque, proper power, silky smooth 5-speed transmission, one of the silkiest transmissions I've ever driven in my life. You can't even know when it's shifting. This vehicle gives you ultra sound insulation. When you're sitting in here, when you close those doors, it is silent, guys. You don't listen to the bodas, you don't listen to the motorbikes, and you don't listen to the trucks. You close these windows, you close these doors, you're in your own cabin of comfort. So just an appreciation for what this kind of vehicle is. But let's now actually get into the stats of daily driving a vehicle like this and what it would cost you. So I'm just going to get the vehicle started for you guys first, so you can get an appreciation for how good this V8 sounds. So let's just take an average. Most of us, maybe we'll drive about 800, or I'm just taking an average, 700-800 kilometers a month. I have been daily driving my Cygnus this last month, and I've covered about that long. When I have my 80 series around, obviously you don't do as much mileage, but let's just take an average. This is how much I would drive if I was only operating the Cygnus. So if we just take that average, we're looking at 800 kilometers a month. 800 kilometers a month is about 27 kilometers a day. 27 kilometers a day will make you average about 10,000 kilometers in a year. Now what I've done is I've taken a monthly bill average. I've taken an average that this vehicle, a combined average, will give me about 6 kilometers a liter. Now this vehicle can do much better, guys. I'm trying to kind of take the worst case scenario. If you go to Mombasa and if you have good highway, good amounts of highway driving, This vehicle is quite good. Honestly, it'll give you about 6.5 to 7 kilometers a liter in those kind of conditions. But let's just take sort of an average of 6 based on city driving, traffic, and also highway driving. So if you're doing an average of 6, guys, that's going to be 6 kilometers into an average of 800 kilometers a month, and you're looking at about 133 liters of fuel needed at an average of 6 kilometers a liter. So we're using 133 liters of fuel at an average price. Let's take the average price at about 190 Kenya shillings. For those of you in US, 190 Kenya shillings, we're probably looking at about $1.40. So at an average price of 190 shillings times the 133 liters of fuel we will consume, we are taking an average spend of about 25,270 shillings a month. So your fuel bill is 25,270 shillings a month. Now, so that's about 300,000 shillings a year just on fuel. Now, some of you might be looking at this and saying, holy crap, that's too much, that's a lot of fuel. And some of you might be looking at this and saying, oh, that's not as bad as I thought. Well, let me give you context now. If you're operating a 2006 or maybe a 2008 or a 2010 Toyota Harrier, you can probably expect a combined average of 6 or 7 kilometers a liter. So you're operating a Toyota Harrier, which is not a luxury vehicle, does not have the amenities of this Cygnus, does not have a V8, and you're still averaging maybe 1 kilometer a liter better than I am. So if you're doing 800 kilometers a month, you're still going to be paying about 20,000, 22,000 shillings. Okay, some more context. You're operating a 2010 or a 2013 Toyota Mark X with the V6 engine. I've actually owned that V6 engine in the Mark X, and I was getting an average of about 7 kilometers or 8 kilometers a liter. Combined average, mainly city driving. So you're driving a Mark X, low to the ground, does not have the ground clearance of a Cygnus, does not have a V8, does not have this comfort, does not have that solid axle that can take you anywhere, and you're getting maybe 2 kilometers or even in some cases 1 kilometer a liter better than I am getting in a V8 Land Cruiser. And a lot of Mark X drivers, because it's that V6 engine, it revs high, it sounds good, a lot of you will be driving with your foot stomped on the pedal. So you'll actually not be averaging much better than I am in this Land Cruiser. Let's go for some more context. All right, where the difference starts to become big, where the fuel saving starts to become big, is when you go to a very small sized car. So if you're going to drive Toyota IST, Toyota Vitz, or any other tiny hatchback, Mazda Demio, you're going to be getting way better fuel economy. And so the point I'm trying to prove here, guys, is that even if you're driving a Mark X or a Toyota Harrier, mid-sized car, saloon car, you're not averaging much better than I am in this Cygnus, whereas I'm getting much more luxury, much more comfort, much more amenities in this vehicle. And only the difference starts to get big in fuel economy if you go down to the smallest size cars. And that's why you see the Ubers being Suzuki Altos, because there's just no other way around fuel economy. If you want that kind of good fuel economy, the vehicle must be tiny. And so what I'm trying to get here, guys, is that the differences are really not that big. And let me now tell you the kind of service costs that this vehicle has, and why in some cases you'll actually spend less overall over maybe 5-6 years on a vehicle like this versus those Toyota Mark X's, Premios, and Toyota Harriers, Lexus RX, and all the other vehicles. Here's my 2 cents on that. Now, the thing we must consider, the thing I wanted to look at right now, is long-term serviceability and why I believe Land Cruisers are such good investments. Let me put it this way. 5 years, almost 6 years of owning this vehicle, almost no major breakdowns. Everything I've done is actually because I'm much of, kind of an OCD guy, and I do a lot of preventative maintenance because I just love these Land Cruisers and I actually just want to keep them performing like perfect. But over those 5-6 years of ownership, this vehicle is so reliable. It's only taken mainly fuel and oil services. The only major breakdowns where I had to take care of was timing belt and water pump. But that is anyways the major service item of this vehicle. And it doesn't cost that much. We're talking about 25,000-30,000 shillings for the water pump, the labor to get it done, the timing belt maybe another $200, and once you've done that, you don't have to worry about it again for maybe 200,000 kilometers, guys. And these engines can go up to 1,000,000 miles, so very reliable. So apart from that, you're just changing bushings and other things, preventative maintenance, changing fluids, and most of those things is because I love to do those things, but you don't have to do all of those things. And so these vehicles are just so reliable, you know. You're giving it oil filters, you're giving it oil, and you're just doing general service, and your main cost of ownership is fuel, whereas other vehicles maybe give you much better fuel economy but have much more breakdown and serviceability that starts to add that cost. And so you really need to take a long-term average to understand whether a Land Cruiser has been profitable to you or whether it's really hurt your wallet. And you could buy a used lemon or, you know, vehicle that has not had a good maintenance and it gives you a lot of issues. You could do that. But if you get into one of these that is in good quality, I do believe that in most cases, you guys will agree with me that over time, the vehicle has really treated you well. And because of that ruggedness and reliability that is built in, because these vehicles come from that Hamura plant in Japan and just built directly from there, they really give you good serviceability. It really lasts for years and years, you know. You're not just getting into your car and pieces are breaking off the interior and body panels are also breaking off. No, there is really well built, really built to last 20-30 years. You have to remember that Toyota built every part in this vehicle to last 20 to 30 years. That's unheard of in today's modern day and age. So something definitely to consider and to think about if you want to buy one of these vehicles. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. This is just my 2 cents. Wanted to get into some calculations, wanted to explain to you guys what it costs and how, you know, how to go about it, how I do the math in my head that justifies that this is a good purchase. So if you guys want to get into a Land Cruiser, I welcome you to get into this legendary nameplate. I don't think you will ever regret it, and you will certainly not get V8 engines for much longer in the future. And so we've got to love and cherish these beautiful silky smooth V8 engines. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit like, subscribe, comment down below. Quick episode for you guys today, and I'll catch you in the next one. It's been Masai Gaines checking out.